As we head into this holiday season, one tri-state family will be spending their first Thanksgiving without a beloved member. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Shelley Kirk.
Hello, I'm Brad Bird. Erica Owen was killed inside her home in July. As Eyewitness News' Jake Boswell reports, the 25-year-old Owensboro woman did everything by law to protect herself. But as we learn tonight, the system she entrusted her life to may have failed her.
A daughter whose willingness to give trust demanded it in return.
Even as a small 3- and 4-year-old, she was always that person that was taking care or overseeing someone else and being that little mother figure.
An ascending future suddenly halted.
It seemed like I was driving in quicksand to get home, but when she told me, my heart felt like it literally exploded.
Described by her parents and step-parents as an independent young woman with an extremely big heart that displayed infectious leadership, speaking at her graduation and at the spur of the moment, her grandfather's funeral.
She got up and she did a great job. I cried my eyes out.
On July 3rd, Erica Owen was only a few months out of nursing school, but felt right at home at Owensboro Health Regional Hospital, gaining trust of the patients she served.
Not only did Eric go to school to be a nurse, but she worked at the hospital probably since the time she was 15.
Her whole life seemed ahead of her until just before the 4th of July holiday. It abruptly ended.
Those aren't words that any parent wants to hear. And I don't know that there are words to describe it.
Owensboro police say Erica was strangled by her ex-boyfriend, Matthew Adams, someone she had believed in, someone she had trusted. But that feeling changed a month before she was killed. She filed an emergency protective order against Adams after police say he caused damage to her home.
As for Matthew Adams, he was no stranger to the court system here in Davis County. At the time of Erica's murder, not only was there an emergency protective order filed against him, but there was also a warrant out for his arrest.
A warrant that stemmed from previous arrests and convictions. As Eyewitness News reported in 2015, Adams was arrested for a 5th time for driving under the influence. The warrant was issued while he was in jail, but one that he wasn't actually arrested on until the day of Erica's murder weeks later. On June 7th, Adams was already in jail on the criminal mischief charge for the alleged damage at Erica's house. The next day, probation and parole in Davis County made a recommendation to revoke the probation from Adams' past charges. That recommendation wasn't filed until the beginning of the next week on June 12th. On that day, it appears a judge signed the probation supervision report and filed it with the clerk's office, but a final warrant with arrest power wasn't actually signed.
Matthew Adams.
The next morning, Adams appears in front of Judge Lisa Jones and Judge Julie Hawes Gordon, both for hearings involving Erica Owen, both of them shown on camera here. At either of those hearings, if Adams had an active arrest warrant, he could have been arrested. A judge ultimately gave him an unsecured bond for his criminal mischief charge, meaning a few hours after he left the courtroom in this video, he was able to walk out of jail.
And once he was released from jail, there's a question about that. That's when this murder occurred. That's when he started looking for her.
An official warrant was signed 5 days later, electronically done so by Judge Joseph Caslin. 2 weeks after that, Erica Owen would be found dead in her home. If Adams was arrested for his probation violation any time before July 3rd, court records show he would have been scheduled to serve 1 year in prison, keeping him behind bars the day Erica was killed. Now, as Erica's parents think, what if, an extra layer of grief washes over them.
There still is disbelief.
Yeah,
that feeling doesn't really go away.
Yeah. I think every morning when I wake up, I have that feeling of disbelief that, did this really happen to her?
Those who loved Erica are now on a mission, spreading a message to other women like her who may be in the same situation.
My advice is to any parent, if they think this is going on, you've got to get involved, and you've got to get deeply involved to make sure that it ends.
A young, inspiring woman who never got to fully show the world what she could ultimately be.
People that see her that didn't know her might think she was very physically beautiful, but I want them to know that she was truly that kind of a person on the inside.
A young man now facing the death penalty if convicted.
The system didn't work as well as it was supposed to, probably, and we're looking to try to find the holes in the system to do what we can.
And parents left to wonder if they'll ever be able to trust again.
I don't know what I would say, but I know I'd love to trade places with her. She had too much of a future ahead of her.
Erica's family has created a scholarship fund in her name for nursing students at Owensboro Community and Technical College. If you would like to donate, we have a link to the fund in this story on our website. We also have information to places around the tri-state that you can reach out to if you're watching tonight and feel you are in a situation involving domestic violence. That's on our Eyewitness News website, tristatehomepage.com.